of your time because you're going to want to hear this. What CSRQ-SM will mean for your life and the future. CSRQ-SM social management software is the program that will be used worldwide by select governmental and banking institutions when the financial reset occurs. The financial reset will be a complete restructuring of the current system and eliminating all existing fiat currencies overnight. The CSRQ-SM software will intercept all banking transactions, all credit and debit card transactions, and all known financial transactions over a period of 3 to 5 days once the system is activated. The currency planned to be used is known as USDR. For those with a Japanese bank account, for example, their yen will be converted to USDR overnight. Nearly all countries on Earth will use the new system. The software is designed to process all financial transactions centrally and issue social credit scores for all users. When the conversion takes place, you will see new information when you log into your bank account, including screens indicating your social credit score. The score will operate on a scale of 1 to 1,000, with 1,000 being the highest score achievable and 1 being the lowest. No bank account shall contain more than 1,000 in USDR at any time for Class C accounts, which includes 99% of the world. Class C accounts will receive 1,000 USDR once at the beginning of each month. Separate accounts known as Class S accounts are reserved for government leaders and the highest echelons of the rich and elites of the world. Class S accounts can contain unlimited USDR funds and have additional privileges. Everyone must immediately comply with the new system. Those who resist, those who protest or complain online will receive immediate fines and deductions to their score and account. It's expected in the first month about 20% of the human population will have their accounts reduced to nearly zero due to the bad behavior, but that by the second month, this behavior will be corrected. According to the documentation for the software, once people realize they can't have more than $1,000 and can easily lose it with unapproved behavior, they will change the behavior and comply. Each class within the CSRQ-SM software app has specific parameters. Each class contains dozens of metrics and variables. Above me is an example. C, common class, amount of accounts, 7.1 billion or 95.5% of humans. C, vaccination required, yes. Booster shots, yes. You have to have 2 or more. Asset limitations, yes. No greater than 5,000. Carbon score, yes. Restricts travel and food consumption. 1 is lowest and best. 500 is highest and worst. S, sovereign class. Amount of accounts, 7 to 8 million or 1% of humans. No requirements. Restricted amount of accounts, 250 million or 3.36% of humans. Look at the requirement. Pause and read. U, quarantine. Amount of accounts, 75 million or 1% of humans. Look at those requirements. Pause and
Ooh, after we watched that, I want to say Shalom, Yasharala. But to start off first things first, giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashil, Yahweh Shah, Bahashil Akadash, which in the Pedro Hebrew tongues, create names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom to you, sister brothers, living is truth. And Shalom to the brothers and sisters that's listening and studying to show themselves approved. Shalom. Now, as you just seen her do that rundown of the CSRQ-SM, which basically is just a fancy name for the B system that's about to come into play. Now, I got an article pulled up, which got all kinds of information. We're going to break this thing down to see what these devils is doing. They done got fancy now. And, they're trying to, sidestep the people, make it seem good, and consolidate human life is what these devils is doing. So let's go and break this thing down. And we're going to get the scriptures. So let's go. Let's get this. So by the end of this, you're going to know what that is, Yasharala. It's the CSRQ-SM. Now, he's going to go through a bunch of stuff. I'm going to put this in the description box so you can read it on your own if you want to, because I'm going to kind of jump around and hit the big spots. Now, Ben, let's break this thing down. the CSRQ-SM. Now, the C stands for common, the S stands for sovereign, and the R for restricted, and the Q for quarantine. Everywhere falls into one of these classifications. So they got 4 classifications. They're going to break everybody down in 2. They basically represent 2-class society, the sovereign and the commoner. And that shows you the sovereign is the rich, the commoner is the poor. They want rich and poor. They don't want no more middle class. It says, the screenshots which are included in the articles reporting on the show that those destinations mean. Commoners, or 95% of the humans on Earth, will be required to have their situation and at least two rounds of it and have no more than $5,000 in net worth at any time. So you're gonna have 1,000 or less in their bank account and have a carbon score between 1 and 500. The higher the score, the less food and more travel restrictions. So they're gonna put everybody on a universal basic income where you fall into the commoner section, and you can't have more than $5,000 or no more than $1,000 in your bank account. And then you're gonna put on a carbon score. They're gonna dictate what you can buy or sell. They can say, oh, you can't buy that because there's a carbon footprint of 20, and you'll go over your monthly allowance for carbon footprint, or you don't have the money to do it. That goes in the Klaus Schwab saying that you will own nothing and be happy. These devils are serious, y'all. Sherrod. They about to usher it in, and we're about to go into that beast system. So check it out. So sovereigns, the elite of the elites, will not have to take any of the situation and will have no caps on the assets they control nor a carbon score. So that's the ish people, that's your elite bankers, and that's pretty much the Amalekites, the cream of the crop of Esau, the Edomites. They're going to be considered sovereign, and they don't have the restrictions that the people got. They're going to get to, basically rule how they want to rule. So basically, Esau, he already has this type of system in place, but it's not good enough. He wants it to be, a totalitarian government. He wants to totally rule over the people. He want to make it back when Yahshua was a hard bondage slavery. And he gonna put everybody in that category that's not, elite class of an Edomite. So we're gonna keep on reading. It says the restricting quarantine destinations are for those who are non-compliant. I'm probably gonna fall in one of them categories. Restricted people represent about 250 million people. The restricted will need, that situation in at least 3 rounds and not be able to be worth more than 1,000, with 500 being the maximum in their bank account. Restricted people will also be subject to a carbon score. So that's for people that don't want to comply. You want to act up, they're going to put you in that 1,000 to 500 range, and you going to be real, like I said, restricted. Probably going to just, Shalakia, probably just going to put you to death. Knowing that. And it says quarantine destinations are defined as reductions in status depending on which class one is in. Sovereigns can literally do whatever they want. A restricted person who jaywalks will face fines and reductions in their travel possibilities and food availability. So if you don't do what they say do, they're going to starve you out. Like them Squid Games. So where are we at on that? So we're going to stop right there. We're going to go to the scriptures real quick to show you this is all prophesied in our book to happen. And these devils are making it a reality. So let's go to Revelation. Because that's what that is, man. It's basically Revelation chapter 13 with a fancy name. Let's go to 13 and 15. And this Revelation 13 and 15. He had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and to the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So what Esau's doing is he's giving life to the image of the beast. What beast? That new government system that's about to be enacted. The global reset. Back in the day they called it what? NWO. It's basically what Esau's doing right now. And if you don't comply, you're going to go in that restricted category, and they're just going to, exterminate you because you won't comply. They want to put you in a class. Either you're a commoner or you're a sovereign. They get to be sovereign, do what they want, and they want to put you in the class as a commoner or a quarantine. They about to do more lockdowns, and that's just them giving power to the image of the beast. Because that beast is a governmental system that's about to go into place. And then what's the whole point of this system about to do? Let's hit the 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now you go look up Elon Musk's Neuralink. I got all kind of lessons on that. They're gonna put a device. This thing is gonna have a technological spin on it. You're gonna go into a system, and in that system, you're gonna be placed with a device in you to where they can keep track on you, GPS you, and that's how they're gonna track your funds too. This new monetary system is all gonna be digital. It's gonna be a digital system, and that's how they're gonna keep you under control. These devils gonna have more control, Yasharala, and they're gonna cause, they're gonna force you. Either you take it or else. If you don't take it, then you're gonna go in that verse 15. You're gonna go in the restricted category, and they're just gonna eliminate you because you won't comply with the new system. This thing is about to be very, like, that's why I call it a beast system. It's gonna be very draconian. Man, it's like a dragon, man. Esau looking to oppress real heavy at this time. And check out, here goes 17. Here's the point why they're going digital with the monetary system. And that no man might buy or sell, say that he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. See, that proves right there is not no philosophy. It's not sin, all the little crazy stuff. No, it's a device that's about to come into play. It's going to hit the market soon. It's going to be mandatory in order to access your digital wallet. And that's how he's gonna force you to. You can't buy or sell if you don't have it, because they're not gonna take cash no more. They ain't gonna take the little cards no more with the thing in them. They want that in your body, and if you don't have that, they're gonna look at you as like he's not in the system. You know, it's a movie. Go watch this movie, y'all. Called Idiocracy. Yeah, it's called Idiocracy, and it's basically it shows you that. Because at one point in the movie, dude, he was frozen in time. He was in a cryo system, and then he woke up in the future, and he was going through, the life. And then dude looked and said, "Oh, he ain't got no basically saying he ain't got no mark. He ain't got no mark," and had to go put him, and he had to go get that. I want to go see if I can get that clip. Nah, I get hit with a copyright thing, but go see that movie. I might look it up real quick for you. Let me see. Since I say that. Because this movie, Esau be telling himself. This movie right here. Go watch that movie, Yashara, because it shows in that movie this system about to get into play. This CSRQ. It's a funny movie too. Funny movie. And it's predicting what Esau about to do. It's funny. And it's like it shows you the beast system. Because this main dude right here, like I said, he was frozen in time, a cryo center. He woke up in the future and he didn't have the mark. And dude on here on the right was flipping out like, "Oh man, you ain't got the mark." Oh, and they was flipping out, and he had to go get it in order to, be in their society. So check that movie out. That's a good little precursor. And we're gonna go back into the article to further explain this new system. It says if you go to the Bank of International Settlements and search for digital currency, CBDC, blockchain, and a host of other related topics, you'll find a heap of central bankers who have written papers about the need to digitize currencies. That's how they're going to force you, and where you can't buy or sell unless you go digital. And to access that digital currency, you're going to need to have that device in your body. That's what the mark of the beast comes from. It's a device. It's the CHIP that goes under the skin. Either you can get it in your hand or you can get it in your head. They have two options. It says the BIS is the central banker's central bank. Obviously, if the social credit system is to come into force, which it will, cash and barter will need to be completely outlawed. The idea to destroy the currencies of the world, which is happening, like the article said, the global economy is collapsing, Once properly devalued, made as worthless as taller without massive riots resulting in central bankers' death, cash and barter will be banned and the digital currencies will be rolled out. They rolling them out now. They prepping that now. All of the CBDCs will be tied together, creating a de facto global currency. What CSRQ really describes is the back end of this system, not the one people will use, the one that those implementing this system or one similar to it will use to enslave us. That's Esau. He's looking to enslave all of humanity, and specifically the children of Israel, because that's really who it's about. That's who he really wants to enslave. He really, he just got to lump in the lower class Edomites to make it seem believable. Really, this is about putting the children of Israel in oppression to make sure they can't call on their power, which is Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, to come back and knock him off his throne, because he's in power right now. Esau's in power, and he wants to stay in power. And his way of staying in power is to implement this new system, which the Bible calls the beast system. Now, he calls it the CSRQ-SM. That's what Esau calls it, but the Bible calls it the beast system. So this was going into play. And see, this is in the scriptures too. Let's go back to the scriptures. Let's go to Psalms 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They should call their lands after their own names. So that's Esau's fantasy right there. What did it say? That he desires that his houses shall continue forever. That's his inward thought. So all these devils do, these elite bankers, your ish people, is they set up in their meetings, their boardrooms, and they think of ways to stay in rulership, stay in power. They want to continue to rule because they know, like we know, they got a clock, and they know that Yasharallah is going to get back in rulership. When Yahushua comes back and establishes that. So they're trying to offset that. That's why they have a space force, and they're trying to make it to where, like, if Yasharallah takes a device in their body, they no longer qualify for salvation through Yahushua. They're finished. Yahweh don't want them no more. So that's why the idea is to get 100% compliance rate with Yasharallah, Israel, the Israelites, to make sure that they continue forever. Because if they can get that to happen, they will rule forever. But like the Bible say, the hopeful elect is not going to be fooled by this, and they're not going to comply with this. There's going to be salvation, there's going to be deliverance, and there's going to be miracles at play right in front of this beast as he tries to swallow up the children of Israel. So it's not going to happen for these devils. We're not going to comply. We already know about it. We over here, they chop up their plans. We over here in these lessons chopping up our plans. Like, we know, like, devil, we see the trap. We see you coming. We know what you about to do. We know what you talk about in your meetings. The prophets is up, and the prophets is telling the whole nation, the house of David, what's going on. So now the house of David, the hopeful elect, we're not in the dark. We're not lost with this. We're like, we know we on point, as they say. We on point. And we're watching. The watchmen are notifying the nation what this devil is doing. Therefore, we're informed and we know what to do. We're gonna be at our best when this devil implements this system. So let's go back to the article. It says, normally I would skip using this type of information. This, however, whether a scam to get people to buy into the sovereign class or actual program developed by actual software firm, has enough examples of how the social credit system will operate once it goes live. There are already prototypes with social credit scores, which will tell people how good of a person we are. They got what's that, mylife.com as an example. You pop in your name and it will rate you based on several criteria, including your online presence. The social credit score, or the BIS, we use doesn't really care what any of us do as long as we follow their decrees and stop using carbon. Woo, you hear that word he used in that? Decrees. That's biblical, because this devil giving out unrighteous decrees. Now it says, when money crashes and economies are dead and dying, Dying trade suffers. Shortages follow, and the general public starts to get pissed off. There's unrest in the air now. We have a third world war brewing between Russia and China and their allies like Syria and Iran and NATO nations, including Ukraine, a non-NATO nation. Yeah, and World War III is brewing. You know, basically with Babylon the Great is what he should have said in there. He didn't want to put that in there, but really they against Babylon the Great, America. One, international trade is disrupted enough, and that's China. China's economy has collapsed based on them going to a hard lockdown. And then this led me to it too, Yashrala. China is still listening to Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Because why would you, when you at the point where you're about to be the number one economy in the world, and then you do a hard lockdown and you like piss on everything you done built? It lets me know that China and Moab, he still listens to Esau. And he has crashed his own economy because they're going into this beast system. China is going to be the first one to implement this. So where was we at? When international trade is disrupted enough, it is very near to that point now. The name of the game will shift from economic sanctions and economic and financial war to a kinetic war featuring every single nuclear power. Woo, this thing about to get nuclear, baby. US, Russia, China, France, Germany, UK, Japan, India, Pakistan, Israel, and probably North Korea and Iran as well. With dozens of nuclear warheads pointed at every major population center, infrastructure hub, and key military installments, the backdrop will be set to get the citizens and the nations of the world to accept this global currency and the social credit scores and carbon credits the global currency will feature. The war will still happen. You sure right it will, because it's prophesied in our word it will. It will be in the middle of this war that the great man of peace will be introduced. That's talking about, and there will be peace for a time. However, after that time, anyone not bowing down worshiping this leader, global government, this beast system, which is represented by the global digital currency, which they always think of like it's like one person, but really the antichrist or anti-Hamashiach is really Esau Edom. Now they might use one person, but he's already been here. That's why I say the revealing of the Antichrist. That means if he's been revealed, he's already been here. And it's not just one person, it's a group, but they'll use one person to be, the spokesman for it. But the whole Antichrist is Esau Edom. They are the Antichrist. And let me get that. Let me prove that since I say that. Because they got Plantation Christianity got you thinking it's one person, but really it's more than that. So check it out, this 1 John 2:18. Little children, it is the last time, as you have heard, that the Antichrist shall come. Even now are there many Antichrists. Many. That's them Edomites. Whereby we know that it's the last time. So it's not just one person like Esau trying to make it seem and Plantation Christianity, everybody trying to figure out who's the Antichrist? Who is it? Who is it? Man, you've been going to work, you've been looking at them your whole life. It's Esau Edom, the Edomites. They're the Antichrist. And why are they the Antichrist? Because they're anti everything in the book, in the Bible. Once you know the laws, such commandments, and everything that the Bible talks about, you look at the so-called white man and realize that he's against everything in the book. He's against everything in the book. So he is the Antichrist, which you go Paleo Hebrew, anti-Hamashiach. That's Esau. So he's been here. So it's not a big, us in this truth. We know who that is. Now they'll probably use one person, that one Rockefeller, I want to say David Rothschild, because he looks like Caesar Borgia. He looks like him. So they probably use him to be like this dude, try to make it seem good and get everybody going to the system. And a lot of people gonna go by that because they're not awake or aware of what's going on and they don't really know the scriptures, but we do. We're not gonna be fooled at all. We're gonna be, like I said, we look at Esau, we already know who the devil is. The devil is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. So that's who that is. So going back to the scripture, we're leaving the scriptures and going back to the article. People of faith in the Bible calls these events the rise of the Antichrist or the rise of the adversary. If you happen not to be a person of faith in the biblical prophecy of this time, it will be you coming after people like people like me. It says it will be you coming after people like me. He right about that. People don't believe in the Bible are going to persecute those that do. And they're going to be scared, and they're going to want the system to work, and you not trying to comply with the system. They're going to be like, well, he ain't doing it, and try to get you, Tell him what you got on this. He got like, I think that's about it. He basically talking about how to unplug the system, which we already know about this. So he talking about carnal means. Although right here he do try to say something about and I did a lesson about that too. He said, I absolutely believe that we're in the birth pangs of Yahushua Hamashiach. He even put Yeshua Hamashiach, but it's Yahushua. See, it's Yahushua Hamashiach. They ain't got the names right. Describe. And I got a whole lesson called birth pangs. We're absolutely in that. It says, whether you believe that or not, just realize there is no normal and there's about to be a sharp Kirk telling the choice. Ended up in the FEMA food distribution line is not where I want and anyone to be. The only way to prevent that fate is to prepare. You're right. And how do we prepare? By, staying in these scriptures. That's how you prepare. You got to get your mind right. You got to be acceptable to Yahweh Shah because that's who's going to deliver us out of this. This devil about to get upsetted. The infantry is already here amongst him, and we are getting fed with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shah, and we're looking to be made battle axes. That's what's going to upset this devil. Like, he going to get his beast system up, but it's not going to last that long at all. It's about to come crashing down. And why is that? Because the Bible prophesies it. And that's because we got battle axes here, man. The Lord about to show his power. He about to flex on Esau. So he going to let Esau set up his CSRQ-SM. He going to let him set up his beast system because it's prophesied that he would get that. But it's also prophesied, let's go to Job, that he was going to bust him up and when he get it going. He getting set up for failure. You hear that term, set up for failure? That's what Esau getting did. So this is Job 20 and 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. So that's talking about Esau. Once basically when he's going to get his system set up, his beast system set up, that, he going to be in straits. And I know why he going to be in straits. We know why he going to be in straits. Because the hopeful elect got 144,000 Israelites, the saints. When they get their spiritual power, man, they about to mess this devil up. And here go 23. Then them nukes that we heard about, those arrows the Bible talk about, they're going to get used. So check it out. This is Job 20 and 23. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fear of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Now, what does that mean? That means when Esau up in his little meetings and they got their little system, a little beast system up, and, they got everybody all in this little system messing people up, and they in there eating good, and they like, oh, yeah, we did good, baby. We got them Israelites, yeah. And that's when, Yahweh about to rain the fury on him. That's when all them countries going to rain their nukes. Yahweh Shah going to show up with them chariots. Brothers going to get their powers. And Esau about to get ate up like Pac-Man. Right when they said right when he's eating. When he's in the room eating and talking up and having a good, high fives. And we got him. And I told you this plan was going to work, Johnson. And all of a sudden they're going to start hearing them sirens and alarms going to go off. And they're going to just get bad news after bad news. And look, I'm going to go hit 27. Hit 27. The heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. Talking about Esau. The earth going to rise up against him. Starting with the Israelites, starting with nature, everything going to be against Esau. He going to go down, man. And part of that was the heavens revealing him, which goes into the Israelite men that dwell in the heavens. The 144,000 that sing this new song, that's your new heavens, your new rulers. And, with the satellites, things that's in the heavens, that's like revealing him. Like Esau getting revealed right now. Esau really made bare. Edomites are so exposed at this point. I mean, so exposed. Everything they do is all their stuff is on Front Street. All it takes you can Google all they mess and they crimes. It's just a Google search away. So that precept is true. The heaven has revealed his iniquity, which iniquity goes on to sin upon sin, because that's what Esau got. Even though he wasn't given the laws and commandments, he was against Yahweh Shah. All Esau got is crimes against him. You know, he's the antichrist, anti-Mashiach. So, you know, the son of perdition. That's Esau. I'm gonna hit 28 too, because that's just good. This is Job 20 and 28. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. Everything these devils got is about to flow away. It's about to flow to who? It's gonna flow to Yahshua. We gonna get it. And we gonna rule in righteousness. We gonna rule how you supposed to rule, not how this devil rule. And that's the good news, the gospel. That this devil is gonna go down. And it's real imminent, real soon. You can see they're about to set their system up, the B system. They got a little fancy name for it, calling it the CSRQ-SM, which is going to be a social credit system. You get your I don't think ain't nobody gonna be working. They're gonna give you like a little allowance, like you said, well, from 0 to 1,000, you know, and you just get that, and you on a carbon allowance, and they trying to make you a happy slave. So it's a whole new system. It ain't gonna be no work. It's just gonna be you in a system with a device in your body in a proper small cubicle house, and they say you'll own nothing to be happy. And that's what they're going into. I might get that clip on that devil saying that. Let's see if I can find that real quick, Joshua. And we end off with that. We will end off with that. See if I can find that. Look, I ain't got to put it all the way in. It pulls up all for you. See if I get it. Devil saying that. When did he say it in this clip? Let's see. Let's hear the devil, because it's that devil talking about his system.
The fourth industrial revolution will impact our lives completely. It will not only change how we communicate, how we produce, how we consume, it will change actually us, our own identity, and of course gives life to such policies and developments like smart traffic, smart government, smart cities. What we will see is that everything will be integrated into an ecosystem driven by big data and driven particularly by close cooperation also of governments with business, civil society. And this revolution will come at a breathtaking speed. It will be like a tsunami. And actually, it's not just a digital revolution, it's digital, of course, physical with nanotechnology, but it's also biological. And those three dimensions provides a particular force to this revolution. So what the World Economic Forum is doing is to promote this public-private cooperation to master the fourth industrial revolution. The fourth industrial revolution will have multifold impacts. Of course, every industry will be digitalized, will be disintermediated, and has to define a new business model. But it's not only business which is affected, it's government which has to move over to agile government, it is society as a whole, with the danger of job losses, but also with the need to reskill and upskill people fast. So there's an impact on society. So we will have to prepare very well for this revolution. And I feel that the Asian countries with a relatively young population can manage and master this revolution easier compared to other countries in the world.
Told you, gonna use China first. You just said it.
What is particularly important is the educational system. We have to change the educational system, which is still very much anchored even in the 19th century. We have to adapt it to the need to change continuously, for example, jobs. So the new educational system has not only been aiming at developing digital capabilities, and I should add ethical norms, that it also has to be based on a lifelong educational system.
Okay, so he told you what's coming. That was 6 years ago. I was trying to get him when he said you won't own nothing and be happy. That devil said that. This is
The fourth industrial revolution is a combination of technological breakthroughs which will completely change business models, society, economies. The fourth industrial revolution is coming with enormous speed and will change not only what we are doing, but who we are. The world
okay. That's kind of what we just heard already. You can look for Yashrala. You see, I got Klaus Schwab. He said it in one of his speeches. I'll never forget. You see people giving commentary about it. Cause he said you will own nothing and you will be happy. And he was serious when that devil said that too. So you can find it on here. Just look on the YouTube. Klaus Schwab, that devil. He's the president of the World Economic Forum. They're the front running government that's going to enact the beast system. And they talk with great pride. They feel like, they're going to put it into place, what they will. Because Yahabashah going to give them that right. But it's not going to last. But he's the front runner. He's the spokesman for that organization that's enacting the beast system. So it's good to know who Klaus Schwab is. They said we even know the devils that's, running these organizations. We know who doing it. Like Yahabashah is very, that's the mercy of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. He's letting us know everything that's going on so we're not in the dark. We know who the major players is. We know the organizations. We know what they're doing. And we know where we at in prophecy, according to the word. And that brings comfort when you know what's going on, what's happening, and you know your purpose while you're here. You know who you are. You know what you're supposed to do when the time comes. Like we ready for game time, so we're prepared. We're spiritually prepared. We're mentally prepared. And that's the best way to be ready for what's about to come and hit the whole world. The 2/3 are not going to be ready for this. They're going to be like, okay, what I got to do to get right? And they're going to take that device and they're not going to be no good to you about shower shot. And that's because, hey, you didn't pay attention. You didn't stick to your heritage. You didn't stick to your culture. You didn't listen to your power. And that's their own fault because the truth is out now. It's very mainstream. You had celebrities talking about it now. So it's out now. Now it's your job not to be scared and get the information so that now you can be powerful and ready to, offset this devil. Because Yahushua is about to use his own people to throw a monkey wrench in Esau's plans. We could leave off with that. Let's leave off with that. I want to say, should I get battle axes? I'm gonna get Ezekiel. Let's leave off with that when I make that statement. And see, our people ain't even ready for that. They're not making themselves ready to be used by Yahweh Shah to, bust your enemy upside his head. So this is Ezekiel 25:14. I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, And they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, said the Lord Yahweh. So Yahweh is going to use the Israelites who are in the house of David, who know him, know the laws and commandments, know their power, have repented, and is seeking his face, seeking righteousness. He's going to use those Israelites to bust Esau upside the head. And we just read that in Ezekiel 25:14. The 144,000, that's going to be that's the new rulership right there. That's your new heavens. They're going to be raised up right here in front of this beast system, right here in Esau's face. Like, Yahushua about to give Esau the middle finger. Like, right when he think he got it, I did him, man. I told you I crushed Yahshua Israel. I told you I get him. Man, Yahushua like, what? You did what? And it's like a Thanos finger snap. Yahushua gonna snap them fingers. Man, them Israelites gonna rise up and run right through Esau like a hot knife through butter. It's gonna be like that. And I can vividly see it. So with that, I hope this has been edifying. I hope now you know what the CSRQ-SM system is. So when you hear it, you ain't gonna be ignorant to it. You can be like, oh man, I know what you're doing. I know what that is. And stay in the truth, y'all. Stay in the house of David. Continue to keep that faith. We're almost out of here. I want to say DTA Wa Baba Ball, Kwam Yasharala, and Shalom.